All right, I've got you all muted except you, Chris. Check. Can you hear me? Can you verify? Chris? Check. Can you guys hear me? All right, check. Can you hear me now? Hear me now?
Yep.
All right, there we go. Let's get her rolling. All right, and away we go. Welcome, everybody. It is Friday, December 18th of 2020. Just an announcement. There will be no sales training call next week, no campfire next week. It is Christmas week, so we'll be taking some time off for that. But we will get right after it today here, and I will take as many of you that have something for me today. So even if we have to go a little extra time because we won't be convening next week, we can do so. So, and again, the goal here is to mix this up between inside sales calls as well as outside sales opportunities and what's happening in the outside sales world. I'm always a little bit disappointed. I will tell you that the outside sales agents that come on this call are quiet. Maybe it's just because it's intimidation that there are a lot of people in the call. So use the chat function too. I will pay attention to that today. I'm going to open it up here. And if I see questions come up there, I will answer them myself. Okay. So we'll try to keep the chat quiet for questions from me, from you, and especially outside salespeople. Okay. That'll be the most helpful. All right. Let's rock and roll. Who's up first? Anybody send me a recording? Amanda, I think I saw you in there early. Carla, I know you might be here. So, anybody want to?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Carla. Danny, I sent you one. You said to say, Carla,
Yes.
Carla.
Carla.
I sent you one.
Good. All right, Carla, which email did you use for me? Did you use the Realty Classroom one? Or Danny?
Realty Classroom.
Okay, good.
And the name is Wanda Day. It's a buyer.
Okay. Wanda Day.
So it's a different one, a buyer plan.
All right.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Same to you. Okay, let's just get this email opened. And so give me a little bit of a background here. Is this a Z-Buyer lead? Is that what I should presume? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
And again, your understanding of Z-Buyer leads have been
I think he froze. There he is.
I froze?
Yep.
I froze. Okay, let me try again.
Danny, you froze.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
You're back.
That's not good. Okay. So my question to you was, this is a Z-Buyer lead. So what are your expectations of what that person has come in on Z-Buyer's platform looking for?
Well, they've gone on one of our websites. They're interested in buying. And that's basically how I started the conversation was you were on one of our websites and I'd like to send you some information. And I spoke to the mother, which is Wanda Day. That's the name that was listed on the lead. And it's actually for her daughter. And I believe I explained that she was kind of screening the calls and finding out information for her daughter.
Okay.
That's purchasing for the first time, that
Okay.
lives with her. And that's about it. And it's a good one. She's interested and she moved forward with the buyer plan.
Okay. Okay. All right. Carla, when did you send this to me? Because I'm seeing something from Amanda, but not you.
Just yesterday.
Okay. Try to send it the day of the call, so that it's
Okay.
right at the top, because if you saw what it looks like in any of my inboxes, it's not a pretty sight. Okay, here we go. Buyer plan Wanda. That's the
Yep.
one, right? Okay, let's see if we can't get it.
Hopefully you can hear it. I've called up the company myself. I know Kyle's been really busy with the dad being sick.
Yep.
And obviously, as you know, Scott's wife had passed. So he's been really tied up. So I called myself to try to get the audio working better. And it sounds a little bit louder. So hopefully you can hear it fine.
Right. Let's see. It's trying to open it.
Okay.
Let's see. Come on now.
hi. I was trying to reach Wanda Day.
Hi, this is Wanda.
Oh, hi, Wanda. This is Carla, and I'm calling from Remax Champions. I was calling you because I noticed you might be interested in buying a house. You had gone on one of our websites, and I'd like to send you some information that will help you with that purchase.
Okay, it stopped. So let's try it again. But that sounded pretty good. I liked it. I thought you were very smooth, and I thought that, you know, I think you could mention what website she went on, right? I mean, I think
Right.
you should have the name of the website. I think it should be as particular as possible, not one of our websites. You know which one, you know what the URL is. So I would state it. Let me just listen.
Okay. Yes, hi. I was trying to reach Wanda Day.
It stopped. So let's see if it does.
Hi, this is Wanda.
Oh, hi, Wanda. This is Carla, and I'm calling from Remax Champions. I was calling you because I noticed you might be interested in buying a house. You had gone on one of our websites, and I'd like to send you some information that will help you with that purchase. May I do that for you?
Certainly.
Okay. What
Good.
is your physical address, please? Best mailing for the packet?
1237 Morrison Drive, Redlands, California, 92374.
And that street again? I'm sorry, 1237 Mercer?
Morrison. MORRISON.
Oh, okay. In Redlands, California. And what price range were you looking for?
Under 500,000.
Okay. And in the area, you want to stay in the same area?
Yeah, South Redlands in it.
Okay. And tell me, how motivated on a scale of 1 to 10 would you be on buying?
My daughter, I'm helping my daughter look for a place.
Okay, so this would be for your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's pretty motivated?
She's got over $30,000 in the bank and is ready to buy her first home.
Oh, good for her. Congratulations. Well, basically what I'm sending you is a copy of the buyer plan, which explains how the buying process works and how we use the process to find you the right home at the right price. So I will get that out in the mail to you today. Should I put attention to your daughter's name or your name?
We're the only two in the house.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I'll get that out to you today, and I'll follow up with you a week from today.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Tell me what you think. Wrong would be the wrong word, but you tell me what you think is wrong with this, or could be better with this. It's more so to do with the offer. I mean, I think, I give you 5 gold stars all the time for professionalism. You're incredibly smooth. Unfortunately, I don't know what the tech problem is that you guys are having. What tech are you using that it's just so poor to be able to record your side of the call? What are you using?
Well, I'm using what's called Personal Logger, which I called the company myself. I know you had mentioned to Kyle to call them directly. He was going to, but
How about Carla?
I've been-
Carla, how about this?
Uh-huh.
How about we use something else? I mean, like this is week after week after week after week that's hurting your training. Why are we using Personal Logger if this is the best they can do?
Right. Well, I've mentioned it to Kyle a few times, and like I said, the few weeks, I know he's
All right,
been
do some
overwhelmed with a lot.
do
so-
some homework. That's why I sent you
Okay.
in the direction of Allison Egan, who has a bent towards the technology stuff, and her calls when she sends them to me are the clearest. So however she's doing it with her caller, that's that's what I wanted you to learn from her. What are they using?
Right.
So go
Right.
back to her. What are they using? And then just put it in
Okay.
place with Kyle, right? Because
Okay.
this
Okay.
is you just we're slowing down your growth by really and everybody in the call, they're not going to be able to hear it, weigh in on it. So, and I got to kind of lean in. So let's fix the tech once and for all. And I know it's not your company, but you're going to say, all right, Griffin's got this message. We need new tech ASAP. Stop trying to fix something that can't be fixed. Shame on this company. Right? Shame on this company.
Right.
So
Exactly.
so next, I think your tonality is fabulous. I think your ability to control the conversation is fabulous. I give you 5 gold stars in both categories. So now we go to this next conversation about conversational conversions. Okay. Conversational conversions is a new term I like to throw around here. Somebody gave me
Okay.
that term. And it sounds conversational, but it sounds like a machine to me. I don't feel you're connected to what it is that's valuable to this woman who's in the middle of this process, because you talk nothing about properties. Nothing.
Right.
You talk nothing about
Right.
about getting a list of what's selling. You follow me?
Yes. Yes.
There's nothing there. So you explain to me, because we have to work on your offer. That's what we're working on. What is your offer? I mean, this isn't just, we don't want telemarketing to get in this routine of, oh, I got someone to say yes and something's going out. So what? You know what I mean? You don't even have the main
Right.
decision maker here. So this is a good start because they live together and mom wants her to move out. Mom's helping. And, so maybe you can get in there, but we don't know that the daughter, has an agent or is working with an agent or any of that stuff. Right.
Right. Right.
So,
No, I agree. I should have went a little bit further. I do feel it was too robotic. I got her to send the plan. I didn't feel that connection like sometimes I do with certain people where they feel more.
well, you're not, why you're not
well,
connected. You're not,
you know.
why you're not connected? Because of you, not her.
Right.
It's because
Right.
of you. It's not her. She was
Right.
very connectable. If you go back and listen to her tonality, she's very open and she even tells you, oh, she's got 30 grand in the bank. I mean, she's very open with you. So it's something that
Yeah.
you're doing that's not provoking her to lean in with you. And that has everything to do with what you're offering her. It's everything to do.
Right.
Your offer is not compelling. You're doing nothing more than, which is good. It's part of it, but you're doing nothing more in this call than just the service piece of it. There's no wow here. There's no pizzazz, right? There's no fun.
Right. Yes.
There's no wow,
Right.
pizzazz, fun. There's none of that. None of it.
Right.
And
right.
so what's missing is your connection. And I say this to all of you telemarketers and of course, all of you agents too. For example, the open house is my favorite example in the sales training call. You're not making this interesting to them and you're not really being insightful. You're saying generically, well, what I'm sending you is a plan. Well, we've talked about this multiple times. I'm going to ask you now, so I see if I've gotten through yet. Okay. What do they want?
Well, they're looking to buy.
What
They're
do they
looking
want?
to buy, and I should have.
Nope.
They're
What do
looking
they
for
want?
a house to buy.
What do they want? Pictures and details of properties. That's why
Pictures and details of properties
Right. Just state the
in
obvious.
the area.
Hold on.
Right.
Hold on. Carla, slow down. Are you in front of a pad of paper and a pen somewhere?
Yes.
Okay. Write this down.
Okay.
They want pictures and details of properties. Just write that down.
Yep.
It applies to
Yep.
sellers. It applies to buyers. That's what they want. If they didn't, there would be no such company as Zillow or Redfin or any of us online. Okay. There would have, back in the day, there would have been nobody that came in and sat down and looked at the physical books. They want to view pictures and the subsequent details of properties. That's what the buyer and seller consumer in real estate wants. Okay.
Yes.
You got it?
Yes.
Don't ever forget it. Pin it up on the wall. They want this. So if you're going to serve them at the very first meeting on the phone, then you have to be of service in that context first. Now,
Okay.
and sometimes it's obvious. They've gone into a buy-side site looking at properties, pictures and details. So you say, hey, you just came into the Griffin.co and you were on the map search and you were looking for properties in Boston from 1.2 to $2.5 million. And I just wanted to make sure you got your account set up correctly, because what that will do is automatically alert you every time something comes on. But the reason I'm calling, what I'd like to do is also send you out, in addition, a list of the sold properties direct from the MLS that were just purchased in that price range over the last couple of months. And what I'll do is I'll pop in a bonus, copy of the plan that we use to help our buyers through the process. May I do that?
Okay.
It's just logical. But are you tracking me? Because you're so good at being taught and then you replicate. I'm looking for Carla here. It's like I was with Joanna a couple of weeks ago, where she was stuck on trying to be academic. You're too academic right now.
Yes.
And you're missing the academics. Okay. You're so good. It's sort of like, I bet in school that you were probably pretty good at flashcards, that you could look at a word and remember its definition pretty well. Your brain works very smoothly like that. And you can hear it when you're going through these descriptions, but you're disconnected from the human, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so like you have to slow your calls down. I am not interested in telemarketers making this massive volume of calls if it is at the sacrifice of what we just heard, right?
Right.
Because that goes out there, but you didn't even tell her there's anything like it's lost on her. She's not going on to websites looking for a plan, is she?
No.
She needs your plan desperately and doesn't even know it yet. She needs it. Every buyer, every seller, every agent needs a plan to succeed. They need it and they don't know it. So you don't come through the front door going, oh, I'm going to send you a copy of our plan. I'm flattered that you're all beginning to realize that a plan is that valuable thing. But when and how it's introduced is everything. You can't blow right by what somebody wants, right? It's sort of like, well, I'm going to come over and we can sit down and, we can talk about getting married, right? Because you need a spouse. So we can sit down and well, what about the date? What about the fun, the stuff I'm interested in? Right? You're blowing right through that. I'm trying to be dramatic with my metaphor because it's obvious to me. This is an easy one to critique. You're so good tactically, but you're so detached. And you have to be a pro-trained ear to hear it. Your tonality, we're going to listen to it again. And everybody, if you can hear her, I'll try to bend the mic down close to it. But if you listen, your tonality is fabulous. She is wonderful. What a wonderful opportunity this lady's giving you. But I also want you to hear the machine-like performance you're giving. And where do you really land at the end? Okay? I want you to think about how certain you are about this situation when you land at the end, okay?
Okay, yes.
Good. Here we go.
Yes, hi, I was trying to reach Wanda Day.
Hi, this is Wanda.
Oh, hi, Wanda. This is Carla, and I'm calling from Remax Champions. I was calling you because I noticed you might be interested in buying a house. You had gone on one of our websites, and I'd like to send you some information that will help you with that purchase. May I do that for you?
Certainly.
Okay. What is your physical address, please? Best mailing for the packet?
1237 Morrison Drive, Redlands, California, 92374.
And that street again? I'm sorry, 1237 Mercer?
Morrison. Morrison.
Oh, okay. In Redlands, California. And what price range were you looking for?
Under 500,000.
Okay. And in the area, you want to stay in the same area?
Yeah, South Redlands in it.
Okay. And tell me how motivated on a scale of 1 to 10 would you?
See, that's really abrupt right there.
My daughter, I'm helping my daughter look for a place.
Okay, so this would be for your dog.
Why do you go into the motivation there too? See what I mean? Like you all of a sudden are all about you right there, right? I mean, you don't even ask her why she's moving.
No, you're right. I didn't make it honestly, you're right. I didn't make it personalized this call enough. I definitely feel it.
You're pressing in this one really hard. You're driving the car white knuckled here. You're skipping over things and going to, well, how motivated are you? It's almost an insult, I would say. It feels insulting that you're starting to ask, well, why? Why are you asking me that question? Is if I don't give you the right answer, are you not going to send me what you're talking about sending me? Follow?
No, you're right. You're right. I didn't make it.
It gets really weird, but you got two options here. One, if you're going to go off script, like Joanna got permission to do, to just be herself, put it on them. Say, I got some great stuff for you. Pictures and details of what's sold. You'll see what the money's buying. We'll drop in a plan. Talk about it. Talk about it. Do you have a buyer package next to you when you make these offers? Yes. You do? Is it open?
I have it. Well, actually, I have it written down. I listened to one of your your tapes that I had watched, and I have the buyer plan in front of me
No,
of what's in the buyer
it's,
plan.
It's not just the buyer plan. Are you guys sending the buyers pictures and details of properties that sold?
Yes.
Okay. All right. On top of the buyer plan,
Yes.
you don't even reference it. How come?
No, you're right. You're right. No, I should have definitely.
It's just a wild swing and a miss. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like
Yes.
you're definitely not connected to the package. You're falling into the trap of pressing to try to get more appointments, and you're missing quality here big.
Yes. No, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
I mean, I would rather you got to only, I would rather you snuck in the buyer package, quote unquote, as a bonus. I mean, that's what I'd rather.
Yes.
I mean, I can't even make a case that you should be pressing for the plan at all until I'm sure that you really get the value of what you're doing for this person. This is the service business. This is wow service. Wow. You're going to go beyond what I'm just getting online, and you're going to go in MLS and you're going to print out what's sold so I can see the money, what the money's buying. And wow, if we're not pre-qualified, you're going to connect me to somebody so you can make all the math work. Wow. You're looking for a wow service moment here, and it just doesn't come. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Got it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Questions, thoughts about that?
No, I feel it. I mean, I definitely see what you're saying, and like you said, you want to be of service. You want to help these people. I want to send you some pictures and details of homes that have sold in that area for that price range. I'm sending you. I also, by the way, I'm sending you a buyer plan. Let me send you some great information.
Good.
And I disconnected.
Yep.
I disconnected with her. I
Yeah.
didn't go further with her
Why?
to help.
Why? Why do you think it's happening? Why?
I think honestly, right from the beginning when she said certainly, I got excited and I went off. I went off to, I honestly, I don't know why I didn't. Normally I'm very personable with the people, and I connect very well with people. So I think honestly, that's my fault. I just got connected she said certainly.
Yeah. Well, tactically though, you're off. Like you're really off tactically. I mean, rushing to look at the scale of 1 to 10 question is only to further clarify the why, right? Without being obnoxious, saying, "Hey, why are you buying? When you buying?" Because I got to figure out if it's worth it for me to follow up with you.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I agree. I shouldn't have gone that route.
Well, you look at the
not.
qualitative questions matter. Okay. After you make your offer, I saw that you are, and it's even disconnected from the website. And I've been pressing you and Kyle on this. Okay. When somebody comes into the ZBuyer website, it's like any other website. And in that case, they're probably looking for a deal on ZBuyer. So I know that you came into our website, xyc.com, and you were looking for, it seems like you were looking for this in this area. Is that right? I just want to make sure you're getting that. Because what I'd like to do in addition to that is I'd like to put some information together that includes pictures and details of properties that have sold in that price range in that area. And I'll slip in a copy of our buyer plan that we use to help them get through the process. And I wanted to mail that to you in addition to what you're getting off the website.
Yes.
And if you can upgrade them directly into the MLS during the call, wonderful. You have to understand, all of you. Outside sales, the same thing. Like, what is your offer at each stage? What's your ascension model, right? What are you ascending them into or descending them? If somebody doesn't want, like you make the big offer of, I'd love to get Gail to come over to the house. I'd love to get, Scott to come over to the house and give you their insights. That's the big offer. Well, I'm not quite ready. Well, no problem. Let me just get you a descension offer. Let me get you into the MLS so that you can see pictures and properties of details as they happen in real time. And I'll also add in, we will put you on the list to receive the market update. So you know what's going on. And from time to time, I'll call you, see how it's all going, and make sure you're getting the info. So I can go for the appointment, which is the best ascension model I'm going to get on a phone call. And then if it's not there, I can descend down into this other offer, assuming they have a real reason why. I got to use the package of information that I'm offering to give them what they want, Carla. What they want is not our plan. That's what they need, and they don't know that yet. And you're not going to certainly club them over the head with that on the phone, or it's lost on them. It's lost. They're not ready. So you go into what they want, you go further into what they want by taking the service opportunity to procure those properties that sold, to educate them and get that in the mail, right? And you've got to get connected to that, because if you're just making generic calls, any of you for that matter, if you're just making generic calls, you're going to have nothing more than the database gets bloated, and you don't really know, like, what would you say to this lady? Let's role play this, okay? You call me back. And what's her name again?
Wanda.
All right, you're going to call me back. Hello? This is call me back in a week. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Wanda. This is Carla from Remax Champions, and I'm calling you because I noticed that you were interested in looking for a home to buy.
Nope. This is the callback next week.
Oh, the callback.
Yeah, because I want to see what you think you just created. Got it?
Okay.
Go.
Yes. Hi, Wanda. This is Carla from Remax Champions. I was just following up. Did you receive the information that I sent you?
I did. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Did you get an opportunity to look? We sent you some pictures and details of homes under 500,000 in the area. Were you able to take a look at it?
I did. There was some pretty nice houses in there.
Okay. And what did you think of our buyer plan that I had sent you?
All right, see, here we go again. You really don't know what to do here. So we've got to work on this, because what did I think of the buyer plan? Nothing. How about that? Now where do you go?
Okay, right.
Or I didn't read it.
Okay. Yeah, this is honestly, I wouldn't know what exactly to say to what's the best. Yes.
Yes. So if and again, I know we have the terrible circumstances that Scott and Kyle find themselves in. So I can't blame anybody. So I'll take it over for them. Okay. You need to understand that the value in a buyer or seller ascension model is to get who out there with them.
Danny, do me a favor, because explain the ascension part of it.
I will.
That might be where the
I will. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go to.
I agree with Dean. You know, we have all these beats that we use for expired sellers. I think we need that same type of thing for buyers.
We've done it many times, and I'm happy to do it visually.
I just don't think it's resonating.
No,
That's
it's
why
not.
I say,
It's not.
and
It's not with anybody.
The right word.
Yeah, it's not with anybody. So let me show it what it means. You're right. It is too big of a word because it's confusing.
It's not too big a word. It's the right word. I just don't think enough.
It's too big of a concept if you don't see the steps. Let me just make sure can you see that board okay, Dean? I got a couple. I'm online too.
You're a little blurry, but it looks okay.
All right, hold on. I got a couple of places. I'm only doing the laptop inside the Zoom. Let me just see that. Okay, that's as close as I'm going to get that. Bear with me. I just got to check on the StreamYard one too.
Because I think where the gap is, and I don't say any of this to be disparaging. It's a learning opportunity for all of us. But I think where the gap is we talk about ascension, moving people up, and I don't think. I think where the void is a lot of the people who are on the telemarketing end of it aren't grasping what the intention and the purpose is to go through it. They're just looking at it saying, my job is to make a call to get a result. And they don't understand the phases in the middle that lose so much value if they're not done properly.
Yeah, it's
with the right intention.
Yeah, precision. Carla, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Precision really matters here. Let's set the whole thing up here, okay? So if you're looking at this, I have 3 mailers, and I actually have, 2 or 3. I think, yep, I have all 3 presentations that I would use face-to-face, okay? That's the entirety of the systematic approach when it comes to the information that we're trying to guide people through, okay? So this is what it looks like. So let me just zoom this out a little bit. Hang on one second. I'm working on two different platforms here. Let me just zoom this out for a sec. Okay. So when you come in here, the idea is we are already pre-prepared in this group with these plans. We understand that's what the buyer needs, a plan, the seller needs a plan, and the agent needs a plan. Everybody needs a plan. You need a plan. You don't just go do something like this, the biggest financial and emotional transaction most people ever make in a lifetime. You just don't go do this on a whim, right? It's not what you do. So you have to be planned out, yes, and that has resonated with you. I mean, you get that a plan matters because you keep saying it and saying it, saying it. The challenge is this isn't in the front-facing way of the business. This isn't what the business is perceived to be by these people on the outside, right? They don't perceive it like this. This requires a plan, and this includes plenty of intelligent people, right? I know Mike Valencia is out there. He knows this. Downtown Boston, everybody's a genius, right? They have PhDs and MDs and this and that, and everybody's the smartest person in the room. So you have to give them a heavy dose of what they want through a service venue first. You can't club somebody on the head and say, look, buddy, I know you got your PhD at Harvard, but I'm going to send you a 5th grade version of a seller plan because they're going to get their dander off and they're all of a sudden going to have an argument with you about, oh, I've already done this before. So don't put yourself there. Instead, put yourself in the servant's mentality that says, yo, really, you thinking about selling your house? Yeah, I went on Zillow and I know how much it's worth. Well, I can appreciate algorithm, approach, but it has its inefficiencies. So let me do this. Humor me. I'm just going to go into Beacon Hill. I'm going to print out a bunch of stuff that's sold a little bit above what you think yours is worth and a little bit below. What do you think it's worth? $2.5 million all day. Okay, great. I'm going to go up to about $3 million. I'll come down to about 2.25. And I'm going to take what's sold in the last 1 month to 6 months, depending on how far back I have to go to get you the info. Okay. And I'll take it right from MLS, all the pictures, all the details, and I'll pop it together. Right. And what I'll do is I'll slip in a copy of the structure I take with my sellers. I'd even change my language if somebody was looking down the end of their intellectual nose at the conversation. I wouldn't say, and I'll send you a plan and you need my plan. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it to that person like that. I'd change the language. I'll slip in a copy of the plan I use with my sellers. Maybe that'll help as well. Right? And that's how I'm going to do it. So in the package, can you see me, by the way? Tell me that you can see me.
Yep.
No, her.
Oh.
I love you, but her. Carla.
Yes, I can see you.
Okay. So Carla, let me just make sure I have the right one. It's this package that I was asking you. Do you have this next to you when you're making phone calls? Okay.
No. No.
Okay, that's the point. You're not physically attached to the offer you're making. So I would recommend that. So sitting there making an offer of curated information, you see what comes out first? Curated information. What does that mean? That means somebody at the company went in, took the time to look up that address, look up what's sold a little bit above and a little bit below. Okay. They went looking at that and they put it together in a package. We slip in a copy of the market report, which anybody likes because it's a 5th grade version of it, which will show the direction of the marketplace and some of the stuff that's pertinent to sellers and buyers, right? And it's very current. Then we're going to slip in the buyer plan and a cheat sheet copy of the buyer plan. Okay. But the layer of information goes through really what they want. Now, if it was somebody I didn't know completely, a lot of people say, well, how's the market? So, when you talk about how's the market, well, then most likely we're going to be talking about having the market report first. That's more general. But you've got somebody who's opted into your website. They want this. That's what they want. Pictures and details of properties. That's why they came into your website. That's why they're there. They want it automatically. So what you're calling up is saying, I saw that you got in there automatically. I want to make sure that what you're asking for, you're getting automatically and digitally, but I want to go a step further. What I'm going to do is put together a package of information that will help you get a great deal. You follow me? That's why they came into your Z Buyer site. They want a great deal. This will help you get a great deal. Well, what is it? Well, in the package of information, there will be a fistful of properties that have sold most recently in this price range so you can see what the money's buying, right? And also, a copy of our plan will help you figure out how to use our plan steps to get one of those good deals. You follow? Like you've got to get logically, to it. Now, let's say you do get the Ascension module going. You're going to now start to see something like this enter the fray, okay? This is what I would bring with me to meet the buyer. for the first time, I would go into presentation mode. It's not a mailer. I'm in presentation mode. So now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to, maybe I'm meeting them at a particular property. So now it's a particular property, right? Where that package set me up to go show some properties. I'm going to reiterate the freshest copy of the plan, and I'm probably going to bring a couple copies of the plan itself. I mean, the market update and the plan again. But over here would be the pertinent properties that they want to see when I go see them, right? Because I'm most likely meeting them at a coffee shop or at the first house, and I've got a tour of homes waiting here. So they had the first generics of what sold. Too late. Already missed those. But who doesn't? If you're trying to get on the bus, you want to get educated about what the money's actually buying. So when you step on the bus to take your own ride to the next stop and you're looking at the fresh for sales, you have a sense of what actually has already been going on. You're not coming into the game cold. So the Ascension model physically looks like that when you're properly engaged in the information age. Okay, that's what it looks like. So if I take that out and I explain it here, all the telemarketing work that you're doing is around that information of what's been going on, right? This is what's been going on, Mr. Seller. Here's what's been going on, Mrs. Buyer. You need to know this, the market. You need to know the hyper-local stuff you're looking at. May I get that out to you? Yes, you may. By the way, while I have you, why are you thinking about buying? Why are you thinking about selling? But I've already finished this beat of getting them helpful information. Follow?
Yes.
Okay. Now the Ascension is getting you up to the point where once there's a real why, I can ascend up the ladder and make the next offer. You tracking?
Yes.
Okay. The next offer was the black package that says, hey, you know what? You have a pretty big reason to buy and your timing seems to be right now and you are motivated at 10. All that tells me that I should offer you Scott's Insight. What I could do is set up a few of your favorites for you to go out with Scott. And not only would you have the sold information what happened, but you'd get to meet Scott and he could show you some of these houses and give you his insight on how to get the best deal. It's free. It's no obligation. So not only is the information package free and no obligation to get you started, but so is the insight in the field that he could give you, right? Yeah. And now at that point in time, I mean, with the listing presentation, it's a little bit different. He's going into their house and he's trying to turn them into a client. I can make a case that this might happen very quickly. If Scott goes out to see some of their favorites right away, they're essentially jumping up to the client status too. All right, Carla, questions about that?
No. And I agree with you 100%. I should have been I should have humanized it more because she was wide open. Certainly send it. And I went into that mode of, I went off and that was wrong.
Well, Carla, it's not just a scripting though. I still hear you repeating sort of in your brain a script issue. It's not as much a script issue as it is an issue for the attachment to the value of what's being offered. You tracking me? Like, I'm still not hearing you keep saying you should have explained the package better. That should be your takeaway today.
Okay.
Period. That's the only takeaway you should have. I better know how to explain this package, right?
Okay. Yes.
Cool. All right, Dino, did you want to comment on that, or Gail, since you both were talking about it? I got to get some more light shed on this. Go ahead, Dino. Gail, anybody? Anybody.
I think it's just important because I'm not calling out any one person in particular, but I hear a trend from time to time that with the calls that Danny has a lot of pushback on, I think a lot of it is because this phase of it is missing.
Yeah.
And I think understanding truly what the value is in each stage. It's not about selling. It's the offer of assistance and of guidance, not so much of selling. And telemarketer's job more often than not is to sell. At least that's the way I understand it to be. And if I'm wrong, shame on me. But this isn't so much a sales pitch as it is an offer of assistance that is foolish to turn down in any way, shape, or form.
Definitely. I mean, I couldn't agree more. I think it's paramount to understand that it's just that. It's assistance in a process. I mean, when you really look at it, it's free assistance. That's a big deal. When you have somebody calling you up that's offering you free assistance, that's a really big deal, right? And
it's assistance that comes from a position of empathy and really wanting to be a problem solver,
right?
Not a sale. The sale is the outcome from the acceptance of all these steps in the process.
Yeah, good. Gail, you want to weigh in? You had something to say earlier.
Well, I think it's good to go over this, being connected. It's really a mindset. And I think when you're listening to people, and that's the key, is listening to what they say so that you can help them get to where they want to go, which is, to get that house. The thing about this one particular one is that she's helping her daughter look for a property. However, you mentioned it. She needs to find out whether her daughter has another agent, and she needs to talk to the daughter.
Yeah, and you're right. And I think if we can see the North Star, right?
Yes.
When you're trying to turn them into a client,
Right.
right? They're coming from a lead, moving through up into a prospect that's really becoming a good prospect because we get a chance to visit for a listing presentation, or we're showing them their properties so we can turn the corner and go to client. So this is nothing more than the ascension model, which is also the lines in the assembly line. Lead, prospect, client are dispositions that are changing along the way. So you have to, yeah, go
I
ahead.
think, Danny, the rushing, I don't know, there's nothing to rush about, because you're asking the questions,
Right.
and then they're answering them, and then you go to the next question. So questions control the conversation. So I think it's important not to rush it, because especially with this particular call, she was very open.
Yeah.
And so you could ask a myriad of questions to
Yeah.
get you to where you wanted to go.
You're 100% right. You hit a sweet spot here with me, because as you were saying it, I think we can't emphasize it enough. And I think Dean's, right about that. This, when you hear me get where I'm really struggling with somebody's paradigm, I think a lot of telemarketers have been trained, and especially if they have experience in this industry. I know that Sam did, working for Paul. There's this crazy rush where they go through the thing so fast that they all land in the same spot, not really knowing what just happened themselves. And they're looking for me to go back and say, well, what do you think was wrong with that person? You know what I mean? When the truth is, no, what was wrong with you? Why are you in such a hurry? Because I know why, Gail. The industry of telemarketing cheats you to believe that you need to get here violently quick. So it's a massive issue in a training standpoint. From a training standpoint, we have who just joined us from a car industry with Adam Kuchik, right? So
Oh, yeah.
right, so Anne was in the car industry, and when we were interviewing, she has this beautiful paced voice and very soft. They would just come in, Gail, and almost berate her for being too nice. And here she was, probably what they didn't understand, the biggest opportunity that car dealership ever had seen, which is to build a cache of prospects who aren't making a car buying decision that week. And so you see the problem in whether it's real estate agency or whether it's cars, everybody is in such a rush to skim the cream off the top that they're losing thousands of dollars. And if they go try to say, well, I would like to steady out my business, I'd like a steadier flow of business, and then they're going to put them into a database, but they still rushed through. And they don't know where they land. I don't know if Maxie and Russell are on here too, but I mean, that's a huge issue with them where I think there's just a lot of you're landing in a spot and putting them in the database and you have no idea where you left off really. You had a conversation, sure. It sounded even like it was positive, sure. Even in this case, you get a package out the door, sure. But they don't know what your value is. You don't know what your value is. So the next time you call into this bloated database and you wonder, well, wait, we had a good conversation and they went and bought with somebody else. How could that be? It's because you didn't make a real connection around a service value. You really didn't make a clear offer. You had a good conversation, tonality, tactically, all that, wise stuff. You did. And you're wondering why. You're scratching your head why you're not getting an effective outcome. The people in this business that are highly effective understand, is this really somebody that's giving me a chance to serve them? And once they start giving me a little bit of a chance to serve them, ain't nobody else getting in here with me and them. I am going to protect this like these are sheep that I'm herding up the mountain that is packed with wolves and lions and tigers and bears, right? And they just wrap their arms around them and they serve. And they go, to Dean's point, I think, Dean, you bring up a good point, to slow down the explanation of the system that we've developed. The same information that gets introduced right from the start is the same information that you get insight about in your house or in the field. And it's the same process that we're digging into when you're a client. Nothing changes. There's not some disparate thing here. It's a foundational building block system that every step becomes logical if you're in relationship. Hey, it sounds like you'd really like this information. We're going to tell you it's going to be very useful. You'll appreciate it. It's a bunch of sold properties. It'll show you all the pictures and details. You and your daughter can sit down, take a look at it. I also threw a copy of the plan in there just to make sure she's following the right steps as a first-time home buyer. Great that she's got the money. Don't know if she's pre-qualified and all that, but that's in the plan. It'll talk about that, right? And so it's almost like I'm hearing validation is trying to be sold early in the process, where the validation has to come after the insight. And it's, give them the information, which gives them the insight, which gives the opportunity to meet with them to provide the validation that they're not the problem, being the homeowner. Their issue was the problem, and we're here to validate the solution. Here, want to see something interesting that just hit me while you were saying that? Watch this, okay? So in sales, there are a lot of quips that sometimes sound patronizing, okay? But let's
word whiskers.
Yeah, but watch this, Dean. You just made me think of something. If I'm a lead, okay, you need to get me to what? Know you.
Yep.
I have to know you. At a prospect, I start to possibly like you. I met you in the house. I met you in the field. I've talked to you multiple times. And now you want me to become your exclusive client. You want me to trust you. So there's what that, instead of being just some crappy quip, right? I've got the leads got to know us, prospects got to like us, and the client's got to trust us. And that is something that's built in that direction. It's not random, okay? I don't even know who you are. You picked up the phone and you just called me because I went into your website that you made either generic offers or you're calling me as an expired. I don't know you. I don't know you at all. So give me some helpful information that's about me. And by default, it'll let me know you, right? Because your name will be on there. I can go to your website, sure. But the information is not just, see, this is where a lot of people fail, Dean. They send a resume.
Yeah.
That's what they send.
Yeah.
That's all they do. They send a resume right there.
And all we want them to know about us is that we care.
Right. And
that's why I used the word validation before, because I was leading into exactly the three words you just put on there. Yeah. The know, like, and trust. There's no selling in any of that.
None. Zero. You don't have to. It's the invisible sale. It's just the invisible sale, because the sale doesn't really happen until way up here with a tactical sale of a property, writing the offer being accepted, or, negotiating an offer that comes into the seller. The sale doesn't even happen until up here.
And if done right, there is no listing presentation, which means there's no sale. It's you've bought into everything we've done. We validated why we're the best solution to your problem. Let's partner and then let the sale happen, which resonates with me because I've said for decades, I have only sold 7 homes in my entire life because I own them.
Yeah.
As a real estate agent, we do not sell homes. We help owners sell their home.
Yeah, totally. It's the guidance business. And
Yep.
and again, if you start off with your guidance being productized, right? And then you can demonstrate in the field how that plan actually is. See, here's the lender. See, here's the list of properties that money can buy right now. See, here's the physical house we're walking through. I told you to get offline because you see what I mean? The neighborhood is not what you were looking for. The grocery store is not within walking distance. Now we're getting closer and closer. So all that insight that's happening, and now they're trusting you. They're like, all right, dude, I'm just ready. You guys let me know when one comes on. I'll meet you there after work. Right? Okay. Nope. I get it. I got a price reduce. I hear you. Just, hoping to net that, that amount of money so I can go buy the other one. So it's all these things that were once just little quips in a sales book. I have an actual practical application when there's a slow, steady, systematic approach. Now, this can happen fast. When we say slow and steady and Gail says slow it down, it's like you have to, it's even, Gail, it's even more than that. It's a consciousness, right? Just be conscious of where you are. It might happen fast, but as long as you're conscious and you're saying these things to get them to know that you have free info for them, that's really empowering for them. It's about, Dino, what'd you say? What's in it for them, right?
Yep.
So whiffed instead of whiff them, right? Whiffed. What's in it for them? Because we keep saying what's in it for me. You're trying to say it like you're them. Don't say that. Just think, what is in it for them? Well, at that stage, it's in here. And what they want at that stage, and that's why they opted into your website in the buyer side case, is they want pictures and details of properties. So even before we get up to the human insight, we can give them more insightful information by including solds. That's insightful. It tells you in a closed sense what happened, right? Okay. All right.
And yes, I apologize, Danny, because I can do this. To be honest, I mean, I can get more humanized, and it's my fault. I mean, this call was my fault.
But there's no fault. You're learning. How would you know this? You've
Right.
never done this. Well, you're not a mind reader. You're not the great sage. I mean, this is learning. Don't beat yourself up because we're not beating you up. We're just simply saying you have the goods, but you haven't been trained well enough. This is why we do Friday sales training, only sales.
Yes, no, I love it.
Right?
I love it. I just took
Don't-
lots of great notes.
Don't apologize. You stirred up a very, very important conversation.
Very. It's the core of what we
Okay.
do. And in fact, that's the first time we've built in the know, like, and trust to lead prospect client. I mean, that's what know, like, and trust ascension. There's the power of that word now. It's got, I'm ascending them from lead to prospect to client. Along that ladder, the lead is knowing me or has to know me. Then they have to like Scott or whoever's going to go out in the field with them. And then they become a client where they're really locked in with the company, and whoever's involved in that account. So love it. Good discussion. All right, next, what do we got? There's a very important discussion today that just went off for everybody. Do I have any outside sales agents that have an anecdote for me or anybody with a burning question? I'll take next.
Amanda has a call she wants you to listen to.
You got that? That's up. Anybody else while I'm looking up Amanda's call wants to be in queue with me today?
I sent one to you from Izzy, but she has to leave it too.
Just leave it too. All right, we'll take hers first because I'll go over time for Amanda. Where is it? Which
I
email?
sent it. It should be in your email, the Teachable. You see it?
You mean the Realty Classroom?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, good. Yep. See, I like the way that you're thinking. Teachable. That's good. Allison at Egan.
I think it's going to be from Chris. I think I sent it from his
Chris.
Google Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Chris. Egan Team Assist.
Egan Roll Group.
Egan Team
Yeah,
Assist.
yeah. There's Egan Team Assist, Egan Roll Group.
Got it.
But I sent it to Danny Griffin.
Kathleen. The name is Kathleen.
No, we're doing Sarah Osborne. That's the top one there.
Okay. I don't have Osborne. Send
So
it.
that's not showing up? Hold on.
Send it again.
Okay.
Amanda, you hang in there. Oh, here we go. It came through now.
Okay, great.
All right, here we go. Let's get it open. Come on, Sarah Osborne, open up.
Hello? Hello, Sarah. Uh-huh. Hi, this is Izzy from Regan Realty Group. I was calling because you had a lovely home for sale and noticed it didn't sell. And so I wanted to send you a beautiful resource, if you'll allow me to, that will help you sell it next time. Could I do that?
You know what? You can, but I mean, we're probably going to stay with the people that tried to sell it last time.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead and send it if you want. I mean, feel free. I'll take a look at it.
Fantastic. I think you'll find it very useful, even if you don't use us. It's got a lot of information for a do-it-yourself or just
Tell her what it is. Same thing here today, right? Tell her what it is. So if Izzy doesn't have that package in front of her, Allison, it's the same critique. Tell her what it is, because she's got.
I don't know if she had it in front of her.
Okay.
Good question.
Okay,
I know she has
but
it.
again, it's for
Yeah.
all of the new telemarketers, which we have a whole bunch of them in this group right now.
Yeah.
Tell them what they're getting. Like she's doing a good job, because look at again her tone. If anything, tone it down a little bit. It got too flowery in the beginning. A fabulous, don't oversell it. You don't need to. She's got such a beautiful tone. I know her, right? Because I've talked to her. I know she's got the whole totally cool vibe with spiritual, healing and all that other side of her life. Don't overdo it. You know what I mean?
Right.
This, you got to get to bring it into a little bit more of a business mode where it's like, look, hey, I'd love to send you some information. I'll help you sell it the next time. And she can say it in her way with her tone. You're going to get everything from Izzy from her tone anytime you talk to her. So if anything in the beginning, pull that in a little bit, right? And keep the positivity, the vibe, right? The zen is there without all the flowery language, because that just throws me off, because she got to the point and now she's got it. It's going in the door. But if you now want to fight to try to win, hey, let me get you this information. It's a bunch of your, because what she's going to learn to do is now demonstrate what the original agent didn't do, right? The original agent didn't go and get everything that's sold around them and show them. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Let's presume they didn't. Well, look at what this is going to be about 5 or 6 properties that sold right in and around your price range when you were on the market, so you can see what the buyers actually bought. Also going to give you a free copy of our plan. Bang, bang, like very strong. Very strong. You're in the octagon in this moment in time. And I don't know what the rest of the call sounds like. If she does it, great. But it's taking too long for everybody to do that. Right?
Okay.
Cool. Let's listen to the end of it.
to feel more empowered.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Can I confirm the address? Is it
Sure.
410 Watch Hill? Is that
Yes.
the best for you? Okay. And then just to let you know, I'll call in about a week just to make sure you got it and see if you have any questions.
Okay. That'll be fine.
All
Thank
right. Well, thank you.
Good. It's a good job. But again, we land in a place where it's fine. I mean, it gets the job done. But the reason we bring these up is the big thing here, and I don't know what's wrong with all these outside sales agents. Holy crap. When I was on friggin' coaching calls as an outside sales agent, I was the first one in line every week. I don't understand why you're not here asking me outside sales questions, but c'est la vie, thanks to the inside sales and telemarketer. The issue here is you're not attached to what we have. So Allison, that's on you and I to train Izzy. Get her sitting still across the table from you and go over that package that she's selling to be mailed to them, because she's got Chris into a dogfight here. Okay. We're probably just going to go with them again. Why? And, and again, if she had been a little bit more, who knows what this would have provoked if she said, well, look, I'm going to take the time. And you can take a little bow here. I'm going to take the time to go into MLS, take a look at a fistful of the properties that sold around you while you're on the market, so I get the right ones to you with all the pictures and details, right? And I'm also going to include a copy of the same plan Chris customizes for his people. If she said that, it might have provoked a more thankful heart on the other end of the phone. But when it's so nebulous, she doesn't know what the hell's coming. And from her perception, it might just be, you're going to send me some paraphernalia about you. You're going to send me a resume. What did I say? Yep, I got a bunch of these calls. Everybody wants to send me their resume. We're just going to stay with them because she doesn't say any different. So for all this lady knows, she's just an also-ran. She did nothing to clearly articulate. It's not Izzy's fault. Izzy does the same thing as, Carla. They don't know what they don't know. Now you do, right?
Sure. And it takes that nuance to decide whether to fill out that information or not at that point. In this case, definitely was what you're saying. That definitely would have been approved.
Yep.
Because then the lady would know what she's getting.
Yep. Same theme here today. It's good. Yep. Dean, what's the line in the rap tune? If you don't know, now you know.
No, you don't know.
Yeah. Here we go. All right. Next.
But what? Why didn't? Because I felt like the opportunity to say why were you moving in the first place was literally teed up right there.
Izzy knew that as soon as she hung up. She realized this right away. If she's on, I'll let her speak. Izzy,
Izzy, any thoughts about this?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, as soon as I got off the phone, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally just lost an opportunity there. So definitely lesson learned and practicing the script a little more.
Was it just the excitement that, hey, you had a success and you were good with that? And I'm, again, not picking on you, just trying to dig deeper.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just like, oh, okay, this is going. And I think I paused a little too long and the thank yous and the phone call wrapped up before I could get my next words out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd critique you on pausing. I really like the way you speak. You know that I'm a fan of yours, and I like the way you speak. And I just think what's missing here is the training, and that's not on you. That's on us, and that's why I'm glad you're here because you're right. Get more connected to the script. Don't try to do this on muscle. You have a ton of talent as a speaker. I mean, obviously, the rest of your life too, you do this. You're a motivational, spiritual teacher. So that's clear. Problem is when we stick it into a system, if we just let talent abound, that's what happens. You get lost in the ether. Does that make sense?
Right. Danny, I typed up the script for Fran the other day, but I'm actually thinking of retyping it and literally tripling the size of the words while I have you. Right at the end of that, just so it's not forgotten.
Well, for sure. And I think
I love changing the font styles helps us so much.
Yeah. And just, Izzy, you'd almost be like pulling yourself in to make yourself smaller and uncomfortable for a bit, in your case, would help you. Because sitting down with Allison and looking at those packages and discussing, like have her sell you on why that information is so important to them and what Chris will do with it when he gets there. You need to really be attached to that. But as far as because then you become attached to the offer, but which is everything. But for you, pull it down smaller a little bit, and I think that will slow you down, and it'll keep you in those guardrails, so that when you land at that end of the first beat, wonderful. I'll call you next week to make sure you get it. Not if you have any questions. That's Chris's problem. If they have questions, that's for Chris when he goes to the house, right? So there's never an opportunity for the telemarketer to get into that if this is done correctly. All those questions can best be answered when Chris comes to the house and he takes a look at it, because then he can see it and he can compare it to what has gone down and how the market's doing. He can give you his tips and his insights. So why don't I just set that up? So it becomes a natural segue. If there is an openness to talking about it, that's when you close, right? Good. Awesome. All right, Amanda, you're up.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm calling it the off the wall call. This gentleman, I had called him and then he had to go because he was with his children. So he hung up. And then this is the call back.
Okay.
And he's kind of tricky because he says he doesn't care about something that he asked me about. And I didn't have the answer to, so I had to give him a broad spectrum answer.
Okay, let's see how
then
this
he said
goes.
he didn't care about it anyway. So I'm like,
All right, let's see. Michael Binder?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, Michael. This is Amanda from Rossetti Realty. And I had called you because we noticed your beautiful home online, and it has here that it didn't sell. So we spoke a little bit, and you were taking care of the children. So I went ahead and mailed you the package of information that we use that will help you sell the next time, and I was just calling to be sure that you have received that.
You know, I probably did, just haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Good.
Okay, I understand. Do you want to maybe set a time in the next 2 weeks that you could spend on a Zoom with our broker?
Why? Why is that the next step right here?
It's because when we spoke the first time, there was a little bit more information.
Yeah,
So, but he doesn't remember that anyway, probably.
Of course not. Of
But
course
you're
not.
right. Like, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have gone there.
I'm not at all. At all. You have to restart the same conversation each time to presume that they know where you left off and they don't remember what we said. They don't even know you yet.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even seen the package yet. So this is like another cold call. You follow?
Right.
And now you want to get on a Zoom call? Huh? Like,
Well,
what-
and he said he didn't look at it, so I should have just told him,
but look at what you just tried to do. Can you see my screen?
yes,
you tried
Zoom
to
all
go-
the way to the top.
Yeah, where are you going? Where are you going? Like you just skipped a step.
Right.
You're like a kid running up the stairs. Stop, slow down. You're gonna knock your teeth out, right? I feel like
Exactly.
the parent today. Stop running up the stairs, everybody, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, it was a total disaster on that.
well, let's
I was like, oh,
let's
God.
so now you create your problem. You created this problem. Let's see where he goes.
Right. The only reason I suggested Zoom is because I wasn't sure.
Hold
if
on,
Gail was
hold on.
available.
No, you missed it. Listen, I was playing it.
Okay, I understand. Do you want to maybe set a time in the next 2 weeks that you could spend on a Zoom with our broker? She's the actual person that wrote that, so she can show you how we personalize that and how that strategic plan works, so you understand which pieces go together to make that come, to a fruition of a proper, right and proper sale.
That's what it sounds like, doesn't it? You see, I just said this to Izzy. Don't do the agent's job.
Right.
You're trying to do the agent's job right now. That's not your job. She can get on the Zoom and she can do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. You know what? What are you doing here? Your job is
because I was reading the notes from the first call.
your
I should have not
job
looked
is
at it.
way simpler than this. It's way simpler. The more complicated you want to make it, the more I have to throw you the ring of life and drag you back to shore. Right? Stop swimming away from the shore. I didn't say you had to go out that far. Right? Let's listen to where you go, how you recover. You're drowning, so let's see what happens.
I intended to bring you multiple buyers so that you have an option and have options instead of just one.
So that all sounds lovely. This week's been really bad, and I don't know what next one calls. What's the name of this broker?
Gail Rossetti. Realty. She's had this boutique realty here for almost 20 years now in Menlo Park.
Gail Rossetti. Fremont number. So you're calling from Menlo Park?
Yes.
Okay.
And she does have some availability, I would say, not this week, toward the end of next week or the following. So that's why I was just trying to see if you had a feel for your schedule. I'll try to get the two of you connected. But if you do it through the Zoom,
I don't know if I want to meet with her yet.
See?
So, we're going through stuff right now. This is on the list, but we're not number one priority right at this time. So, there's no.
See, this is exactly what you missed. And now you have to back into it. So when you jump up to the meeting, right? You jump up to the meeting, you miss the process of down here. Hey, just take another look because we sent it. And if you didn't get it, I'll resend it. But by the way, while I have you, why are you trying to sell your beautiful house? Like everybody keeps missing the question that we're setting up by giving the information. Why? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? That's a personal question. That's what's in it for them, the information, and then my caring about why you're trying to do it. Do you really have to do it? I don't hear that question being asked by any of you.
Right.
None of you. And that's your job. Because when you ask the why, They talk about a reason that's real or not, which will make you say, whoa, shit, listening to that, this guy has a real reason to sell. Maybe I ought to ask him on a scale of 1 to 10. How motivated would you say you are given that big reason? Well, I'm not a 10 yet, but I will be in 2 months. Wonderful. You know, what I could do then is in the meantime, why don't I just set you up also in the MLS to continue to receive the solds? So you see what's going on, continue to get Gail's market report. And then in about a month from now, I'll check in, see how you're progressing. And when it makes sense to get Gail there, let's get her in. This is just so logical, right? Slow down, all of you, all 3 of you, and be about the people. You're too worried about your performances. I don't care. When Joanna was struggling with this a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, Joanna, you don't even talk like this. You're trying to what are you trying to become an A student and memorize every word? What are you doing? Just put it on them. Say, listen, I got some great stuff for you. Well, here's what it is. It's pictures and details. You can see what people are actually paying for this stuff. And I'll give you a copy of Anita's plan. You need it. And she started putting it on people the next week. And guess what? 4 or 5 packages went out the door. Boom, 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 boom. Because she was having real conversations the way she really does about why this information, is good for them. It's sold. It shows them what's happening. You get that. You get to know us. I'll call you in a week. Hey, by the way, we talked last week. You get it? Oh, wonderful. Don't even talk about the information. You're not qualified. And then you're stealing the thunder of the person. You're stealing the thunder of the Ascension offer, right? You got an offer down here, but your Ascension offer either on the first call or the second is, let me get the agent in because they're going to give their insight. That's not you. I'm not asking you to give your insight. You're setting up, that's the whole reason for the person to come over. If you start babbling along like you have that insight, what's happening? The value of the meeting is you're losing it. You're killing, you're popping your own balloon. Got it? Yes? Amanda? Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. All right, good. All right, we're done here. So look, happy holidays. We got 2 weeks worth of holidays. They fall right on our day. So let's go out there. If you're going to be working at all over the next 2 weeks, practice this stuff. Just start being about people. What a great time during the holidays to really demonstrate to them, wow, service. Okay. Just try that. Why are you trying to do this? Why bother doing this? Because if you're really serious about it, I really should get Gail over there to help you. I want that heart to come out a little bit more here. And I want you to memorize the Ascension, which is easy. Know, like, and trust, lead, prospect, client. That's what you're after. And sit with your team leader and let them sell you on the value of the package and what they would do to interpret it and give the insights in the house or in the field with the buyer. All right? Happy holidays, everybody. See you on the other
Happy
side.
holidays.
Yep. Appreciate all the hard work
So
you do
Danny,
here.
no calls next week or the following?
Correct.
All right,
Correct. Yep.
wonderful.
Yep. Work
Happy
on
holidays.
work on it. For the mastermind
Happy
members,
holidays.
for the mastermind members,
Happy
Gail,
holidays.
I will do a helpline for the mastermind members, but
Okay.
other than that,
Thank
go and
Okay.
enjoy. Time off. See you later.
You're doing helpline both weeks or just
Yeah,
next?
both. I'll do them both.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I thought you were
All right.
tracking everything next week. All right. Have a good one.
Ciao.
We
Bye.
only